Hello. Once again, you're welcome to this installment of Tissues of the Issues. This is the Citizenship Edition, and it's part of the series on the crackdown on immigration in the US of A. As we do know, on 20th January, when Mr. Trump took over as the 47th president of the United States of America, he issued some 26 executive orders. And some of these orders are targeting a crackdown on immigration, ending aid to African countries, and also designating gender as only binary. So it's either a male or a female, changing the face of climate change, and literally walking back most of the policies of the Biden administration. Now, so today we're talking about that bit on citizenship that seeks to ban birthright, so that when you give birth on American soil, as it used to be the case, you are no more a citizen. And Mr. Trump has put that in. Now, a Judge John Kavanaugh, has ruled to block that order by Mr. Trump. And that's because some 22 states in America and also four important civil rights organizations sued the Trump administration that this birthright citizenship dates back as far back as 1868, which is part of the 14th Amendment of the American Constitution. That right away gives automatic birthright citizenship to people born or kids born on American soil by American parents. And so they're contesting that. And now the Department of Justice is also trying to pull up some legal arguments to enforce Mr. Trump's order. But the judge's ruling, which is now trying to block Mr. Trump's order, lasts for only 14 days. So on 6th February, we will have a more substantive ruling whether Mr. Trump's order will be enforced, or now kids born in the US will still be given automatic citizenship. Now, so the topic we are treating today, we have titled it Birthright Citizenship in Agbogbloshie. It's open. Americans are welcome. Now, to be part of this journey, as you've always helped us, subscribe to this channel, most importantly, like it, and also leave a comment so we can know what you think about it. And also, if you can click on the button for notifications so that you get to see our previous editions and also the editions that are yet to hit us. Now, those who have followed my writings right from England would notice that I had a daughter called Sonnet. Well, today I'm ready to fess up. Sonnet wasn't really a person. Sonnet was part of a story that I was developing on family and marriage. So I created a character, a daughter that I named Sonnet. And even at that time, even as a boy, Sonnet became an investment of my boyish imagination. That if I really wanted to have a baby, my thinking was that I want a baby to be born either in England or in the US of A, when the baby would automatically be given American citizenship. But now, America's Vice President, J.D. Vance, is asking the question, apart from America and maybe Canada, in which other country would a baby be born by a tourist or a visitor or any illegal person, and the baby right away becomes a citizen? And so these are the issues that we are trying to contest. But before we get in there, let's ask, how do we become an American citizen? How does any person become an American citizen? So it is through the principle of jus sanguinis, that is right by blood. Because you're born by American parents, automatically become a citizen. And then also be born on American soil, right? And then also through naturalization. So if you marry somebody who is an American, and by dint of marriage, you also become a citizen. And we do know that people have used other routes, right? So it may be a marriage of convenience, and people also get citizenship through all that. But there's also an important one that if you speak to a good immigration lawyer, they'll tell you that there are other routes that people will hardly explore. A case in point is somebody who was trying to apply for American citizenship. And after speaking to a lawyer, they realized that he's an author, he's written books. And so they put that credit in there as part of reasons why such a quality person deserves American citizenship. Look, countries are looking for not just anybody, but people who can make a good contribution. So if they get to know that you have such a skill, you have an important person like that, they would consider it. So it shouldn't always be through, illegal routes and marriage of convenience and all that. So you can get that. So now America is decidedly topsy-turvy because of this whole crackdown on immigration, and it's not just targeting illegal immigrants. Don't forget about that. It's targeting naturalization, so that if you became an American citizen through marriage, and they get to find out that their marriage was fictitious. Now it's possible to strip you of the citizenship. So it's targeting even those who are citizens. One day you could be, you know, they could take it away from you, literally, right? So it's a big picture out there. Now this week, as I was researching to deliver this particular installment, I was speaking to a journalist friend of mine in Texas, and this is a white person, and he asked me a question about this whole birthright citizenship. That if he came to Ghana with his wife and the wife was pregnant, and they got a baby in Ghana, would the wife automatically become a citizen of Ghana? I wasn't in a position to dignify that question with a ready answer, because this whole citizenship discussion is quite nuanced. Now, so in Ghana, our citizenship is derived from, it's also just sanguinis, just by right of blood. So if you're born of Ghanaian parents, you become a citizen anyway. But there are also through many other ways. Naturalization, if you got married to a Ghanaian, you become a citizen of the country, really. But don't also forget that if you open your back door to your house and you saw an abandoned child just by your doorstep, you don't know the parents of that child there is a citizen of the country. So don't forget about that. We can also become a citizen of Ghana through adoption. So there are various ways, but let's ask our question. So we have Nigerians, Niger people, those who deal in onions, and also Burkina Faso people, those who have bring tomato and all that Agbogbloshie. If one of them comes in and gets a baby in the Agbogbloshie area, would that baby qualify to be a Ghanaian just because they were born in Ghana? Is that what's going to happen? Well, the immigration lawyers in Ghana could pick this up. So the question we're actually asking is that, does it matter where a baby is born? Why would somebody travel from their own country to another person's place to give birth in that country so that the baby becomes a citizen of that country instead of theirs? Why would somebody want to go through all that? We do know that, people who have the financial wherewithal from African countries, Ghana, Nigeria, when their wife is pregnant, they sponsor them to countries like Canada, the US, to give birth there so that they become citizens. And we are asking the question, why would anybody want to go through all that? Doesn't matter. Now, let's look at the windfalls and the pitfalls of giving birth in a place like Los Angeles, which is glamorous, right? If you compare Los Angeles to Agbogbloshie, where would you want your child to grow? I think the answer is pretty obvious, right? Because the environment there, you are likely to get quality education, good hospitals, good healthcare. You compare that to what we have back home, and so we all want the best for our kids, right? But the pitfalls are that now, so you came to the States, you had a baby there, because you are not a citizen, you can't live there. The baby perhaps can, but can you leave the baby alone? You can't. So you send the baby back to Accra. Now the baby grows up to say 20, coming back to the States for university education. What has he really gained? What has he missed? University education is not even free. You need to also pay. So you look at the whole process and you wonder whether there's anything to gain by going through all that mess, right? Now, when the baby grows up here, there's a whole lot of things that you deal with, right? Here you can imagine a 10-year-old calling the police for their own parents that they do too much domestic chores. Kids have that right to reach out to a phone the police. I don't think Ghanaian kids have an idea that they can call the police when they feel abused by their parents. But here, kids can do that. Now, when kids get to the age of adolescence, when they are in high school, that is the big thing there. They open to influences from kids from other races, other ethnicities, even including countries that are known for breeding terrorists. You wouldn't get that in Ghana, would you? So if your kid in Ghana he's only influenced by Ghanaian friends, some of whom you might even know their parents and all that. Here, if your daughter or your son is friends with somebody from Afghanistan or somebody from Yemen, before you are aware, something could happen. I don't want to mention names here, but so there are lots of issues that you deal with. Today, the Ontarian government is reporting that there's a gang that has infiltrated Snapchat and selling drugs to high school children. Okay, well, in Ghana, I think the least you can get is tramadol, but that's also been checked. But so here, the influences are a lot. My friend's daughter started having boyfriends here and there, and we're trying to advise the girl. The boy said to us, and the girl said to us, "Look, is it your body that I'm using?" You can imagine a Ghanaian girl saying this to her own parents. So growing up here, it looks great, but And if you go to the jails, people in there, some of them born here, they grew up here, and eventually got into bad company and did the wrong things, and they are still serving in jail. Okay, you can have your own son joins a gang, and the gang members will call the father and warn you. Okay, I've seen that happen before to somebody that I know. So there are pitfalls, and also there are windfalls. But of course, the windfalls are that once they grow up here, they might get a good education that will eventually lead to a good job and a more quality life. But let's also look at the other factors that are not that great. Now, today, let's consider the verdict. And as we do know on Tissues of the Issues, what we do here is that we discuss our articles, do a synopsis of the articles, review, analyze the points, and most importantly, we deliver a verdict on what we think will be the gravamen of the arguments we have advanced. And we hope that duty bearers and stakeholders will chance on these arguments, on these verdicts, and we try to work together and address a particular challenge, particular problem in our society. So our verdict today, and our verdict we are going to credit Mr. Joshua Maponga. He's a civil rights activist in Zimbabwe. They call him the creative powerhouse because he has some fantastic ideas. Now, last week he did a video and he averted our minds to a particular problem that we fall perhaps ignored. Now, we see, if you go to Galamsey areas in Ghana, you would see girls, Ghanaian girls who are pregnant for Chinese boys. And let's check this out. The people that are shipped from China, these Chinese people from other countries, they come to Ghana, these are not always the quality people. Some of them we know were released from prisons and they were not really doing any fantastic job in China anyway. And they come in there to our Galamsey areas. Girls like them for some reason, and they get pregnant with a Ghanaian, with a Chinese baby. Now, that Chinese baby will grow up in Ghana, and it's a citizen by right of Act 2000 of the 1992 Constitution. They are a citizen because their mother is a citizen. It is possible that that Chinese person will one day grow up to become a citizen of Ghana. So that is what perhaps is the bigger picture that Mr. Trump is trying to check. And let's also realize that while other countries would ship people like that, people who have been released from prisons to come and flood our Galamsey areas and pollute our waters, the converse is true for us. We ship our cognoscenti. The most quality of Ghanaians are those who usually will travel out of Ghana. So we have our medical doctors, our engineers, our intellectuals, leaving the country instead to go into some other country to help them grow. And so we ship our quality material, and they ship to us people they don't want. So you might find maybe one engineer, Chinese person, supervising a group of people, and these are not usually people that we really need, to help us do much in our country. So these are the issues that we try to talk about when we talk about citizenship by birthright. So the topic for today, if you want to Google it and check it out, is Birthright Citizenship in Agbogbloshie. It's open, and Americans are welcome. If you visit our news page on newscenter.com and under Tissues of the Issues, you will see the arguments. You read the full article there, and you'll find some very interesting submissions in there. We even talk about having a Banku accent, or they saw that in the article, and something that you would enjoy. So before we sign off from this Birthright edition, which is part of the whole series on immigration that we are developing. Next week, we bring another certain aspect of immigration in the USA. Please do us a favor just by clicking on the button for notification, subscribing to this channel, most importantly, like it, and also leave a comment for us so that we can grow together. My name, once again, is Benjamin Kwesiteria, and this has been Tissues of the Issues. Next week, we come your way again. Goodbye.